Hello again, everyone. It is still May 14th, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to any mothers out there. This is video number 7 again, the second time, with the 617 Nasdaq contract. We're still trading the same 3 contracts, going for 27 tick targets. Everything is the same as in the previous video of the same time. This is May 7th through the 12th, but this one we're going to let run without following our normal rule of trading. And if you were trading and you didn't follow our rule, you ended up with a different result. I'm not going to talk that much in this video. Everything else is identical, except we're going to let the system run through the Thursday, which we would not have traded, and I explained in the other video why we wouldn't have traded. This one we're just going to run it straight through. Everything will be identical for the first 3 days through Wednesday, but then Thursday, when we had the sell-off in the Nasdaq, it dropped below our threshold and we paused it. We came up here and we just hit the pause button and we didn't trade. Now, I explained that in the first video. So if you were connected and did not pause it on Thursday, it lost on Thursday. And it lost a little bit on Friday as well. If you didn't trade on Thursday, but you did trade on Friday, you still made good money for the week. This is the same 3 contract trades. We're going for the 27 tick targets. And everything will be identical except we won't pause it. So this is the follow-up video that I wanted to put on the website so people can see that it's important to follow the simple guideline that we have. We do not have a lot of guidelines for this Nasdaq market trade. That's what makes it so nice. Certain news events on a Friday, yes, it could cause us not to trade. But there are just a few other things that's important to take note of. This Nasdaq trading system does very well in a basic normal market. But if you have big moves up overnight or big moves down, it can put a lot of pressure on it and it can go sideways. And it can still get you in, and then you have to deal with that. So this will be a good example for someone to see both weeks run, one with our rules that we apply and then one without. So everything else will be the same. So I'm not going to say too much, but you'll get to see on Thursday the difference where it did stop out and have a hard day on Thursday. And it lost $1,000 if you traded it. We avoided it and we explained in the other video why. So this will be good information for you. Same thing, you see on the first day, Monday, you up $800. Well, that's like a normal because this is normal market movement. So you get to see Thursday and then Friday, which I had put it on pause. On Thursday, I meant to unpause the other video on Friday to trade, but I was talking and the system was running, so I didn't unpause it. But this one we're going to leave on and run through Friday. You can see the blue line here. That means we're able to trade. It's probably going to be a short trade going first. Okay, you can see on this day it didn't trade at all the whole day, just like in the other video, same thing. That's the end of the day. Okay, you can see we're ready to trade now. The market had moved down a certain level, and then our next trade will probably be a long trade.
Order pending. Order pending.
That trade started before the Nasdaq market opened, or right at that moment where it reversed, and there was a stop out, and then it reversed for a full win, and then it got another full win. So you're back in profit. You're up, not that much for the day. It's 165, just like on the other video, and I don't think it trades again. Okay, this is the end of the day, and then here's your new day starting, and it looks just normal like any other day. This is the beginning, this is Wednesday evening at 5 p.m. Central Time, and the market sells off here. It looks pretty normal here, but it sells off. And before it took our first trade on Thursday, the Nasdaq had gone down 50 points. Now that's not ticks, that's points. And the Dow was down 125 points. A lot of pressure to the downside. Yes, it hit some areas where we knew it would come back up and rebound, but it goes sideways sometimes before it does that. And that's what you want to try to stay out of. So you'll see how it develops here. You see, it didn't move too much, but it didn't move to the downside. So as the evening went on, in the next morning, it's still on a downward trend. So they kind of sold it off overseas, and down it starts to go. Now we're approaching 6 a.m. Central Time here in the United States, and you're still down. But that alone is not enough. It sold off more, and it got way down here. And then it rebounded a little bit early, and then sold off, gave you a line, a blue line. Now I'm going to stop it here. It gave you a blue line to trade. But down here, which we explained on the other video, that we were down here negative 50 points all the way down here at its lowest. I mean, I have a TV in my office. I'm watching this stuff. And anything over 35, 40 points on one directional move, before you take a first trade, you would just simply pause the system. And to do that, you would just click it on here, and it would pause it, and it won't trade until you unclick it. And that would be your best move. Let it show you that skip a trade, but you could make sure that it will move back your length if it gets in. And you could do that, or just skip the whole day. That's the best thing to do, skip the whole day, because you're going to be fighting against the market with this much pressure on it. So we're going to leave it on. This is what we want to do here. So I'm going to start it back up here, and we're going to leave it on. And you see it went all the way down to the bottom. That is the bottom, or very close to the bottom. And it went long. So there it is, but it's not going to go. And so if for some reason you missed this, and you could not have turned it off, and you were in this, you're just going to see what's going to happen. It's just something that it can happen real quick. The sideways part of this day was only about 30 minutes, but it beat the hell out of you for 30 minutes. And then it went ahead and started to go. And the only way is to gauge it, what it did from the night before, what is the market. You can look at the news. It's real easy to do. And like I said in the last video, you can pull up a team viewer, get the ID and password, put it on, write it down if you can't be here and watch this, when you know it's selling off. And then if it gets to a 40-point level, you just pause it and just push that button. You can do it from your mobile phone. This is what our technology is giving us now. So it's very easy to be interactive with the system when necessary. Now, you see what happened. You gave all that money back you made during the week. And you see, it's a small period. It's 9:30 to 10 o'clock. In that 30-minute period, it made its bottom down here. Didn't go much further, but went far enough to break all indicators and violate the indicators, the normal indicators that the market uses. And then it eventually moved, and then you'll see it move up here.
Order filled.
Okay, now you were up like $965 before this, and now you lost $1,000 this day, $1,060. So you're negative for the week at $95. That's if you did not pause the system. So, okay, what do? Do you just stop here for the week at minus 95, or you wait and trade through Friday? A lot of times we look at the news. But this, sometimes it can't tell you that it's going to be a good day or a bad day the next day. It's somewhat of a guideline. On this Friday after Thursday, which is this just last Friday, the news wasn't extraordinary. There was nothing really major out on that day. So it's really a judgment call, and this is something you do. After a beating like you took this day, you might have to have a day to catch your breath or so. Um, uh, does it make money or lose money? It loses money, on Friday, but it loses a little bit. Not that much. It had a win and a loss. I started off with a loss and a win. If I had gotten the win first on Friday, personally, I probably would have stopped the system, but I didn't. And it started off with a loss on Friday. And so you just have to be patient. It's not bad to be hands off completely, but there are some things you can do. And this is why I'm running the second video and running them how we would trade it, and suggest trading it when there's a lot of pressure on the market. You simply pause it. But in this case, we're going to let it go. Let me speed it back up here real quick. Okay, sorry. Again, this system is best operated in a normal market, even though the Nasdaq has great movement, and we've traded gold and crude oil. This system works on gold and crude oil. Actually, untouched, if you had one contract on gold with our settings for gold this past week, it made about $280 on one contract through a very volatile week, because we had a lot of pressure to the downside, which means gold goes up, but it doesn't trade that much. So, but yes, the gold would have made money. Now, how that helps you is if you have two different types of instruments on, you have some diversification. So you would have been about break even for the week if you had one contract of gold on. Okay, now this is Thursday evening, this white line at 5 p.m. So we're going to trade into and through Friday. We're waiting for that blue line for it to tell us that we can trade on Friday. There it is. So the first trade will probably be a short trade.
Order pending.
Okay, there it is. And you can see it's real sideways on Friday. It's real sideways. It makes an attempt to go.
Order pending.
But it can't make it.
Order filled.
And it goes up. It's one tick away. Our stop movement catches it. So it ends up not getting a full target. But then it ends up going. So you see, sometimes it'll go back and then it'll go. So but this is just the way we have it set. It's the way we have had it set for the last 7 weeks in these videos on the 617 Nasdaq contract. So we just keep the same setting. But you see it ended up going for a full target anyway. And it's not going to trade anymore. That's it. That's the end of the week. Now, what's important here is that you are able to see that running for the whole week. Now, this is our first losing week if you would not have intervened when you saw that big sell-off on Thursday. And so you are down negative $300 for the week, which is not bad. If you made all this money in the last 6 weeks, and on the 7th week, it loses $300. You're still fine. You're good. It lost $200 this day, but it was down 95 from the day before total after you lost 1,000 or 1060. So this recording is identical to what happened in the live market. There are no differences. Every now and then there's a little difference. It'll hit your target or else it'll hit the stop movement. Under these conditions, it was exact. So thank you for watching. This is our extra video. I will put it on the website for you to see it. And thank you for watching, and look forward to you seeing our next week's video. Have a nice day.